Hi, it's Connie here from Music Villains, and I am sitting here with Canterbury. I have a few questions for them about the upcoming tour and the album. This is your first headline tour in over a year. What should people expect?
Us to be a little bit rusty. No, that's not true. We've been rehearsing pretty hard. It'll be the longest headline set that we've done before.
How long is it?
It's just shy of an hour.
Oh wow, okay.
Maybe even more.
Which for a band like us is quite decent.
Uh-huh.
I think the headline tour we did last year, year before last even now, just about 45 minutes. We had about enough material for that, but now we've got a few more songs in the bag, so we kind of had the luxury of being able to decide which ones we leave out, which ones we can't play.
We've got new songs, so
from the new album.
Playing like 2 or 3 songs from the new album, which have only just been heard by people, so it's quite nice. That's what people should expect. And we haven't done a tour, like you say, in well over a year, so I think we're just more than anything just totally excited.
We might be a bit overexcited.
We might. Quite scared about that. Just get a bit too excited, like to the extent we might hit each other or something.
Yeah. On the topic of touring, what is the best tour you have ever done?
This one.
Even though it hasn't started.
It hasn't started yet. No, I'd say probably the last headline tour we did back when, like October, November 2010.
Yeah.
It was just great for us. It was like a surprise, the amount of people who were coming out to see us, and I mean, we had some incredible shows. We played London on that tour. It was our best show ever as a band together because it was the headline show. But I mean, thinking back to it, as soon as you asked the question, it just jumped into my head, and I was thinking, like, because we were so lucky to have been able to do it back in 2008 when we toured with Billy Talent, and we actually came there, we were in the Olympic world. But that was just probably one of the best tours because we were so much younger than we are now, and we were thrown in like, hey, play Brixton Academy, and we were like,
okay,
seriously? Like, so that was just kind of momentous. But, I mean, headlining sport is so different. So.
Yeah. The blackout tour was just a barrel of laughs, really, wasn't it?
There's
so much fun, and the crowds were incredible each night, but more because we were on tour with 2 bands that are just good friends.
Yeah.
So
lots
every night was just a fun get together.
I don't think we've ever had a bad tour.
No, I don't think we have either.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
not many bands can say that, I'm sure.
Like, even when there's 3 people at the show, somehow the touring element of it still makes it like
there's more than 3 people outside.
There are, yeah.
So you're okay for this show, it's okay.
It was 3 o'clock, so no, there's 4.
Jeez.
Which is
hardcore Canterbury fans.
And they were freezing. I can't even imagine what it's like.
Yeah, they were cold.
Like I kind of wanted to be like, go home.
Did you go out
like, what are you doing here?
Oh,
you went and talked to them, yeah?
Like, well, it was quite embarrassing because we hadn't eaten due to complications in the morning with girlfriends coming over.
Oh, yeah.
But so we went and ate, and then everyone came in here, set up, and we came back, and then we're locked out the venue for about, I don't know, if we tell the truth, it's like 5 minutes, but if we lie to our bands, if we lied to the band, it was about half an hour.
Yeah,
we wanted to make. We came back so quickly, kind of.
Just so we can upload in.
We were working. No, we were out there for about 5 minutes.
We were just out there in the cold.
We were chatting with them.
United front.
United against the cold.
Do you guys get to pick your support acts for the tours?
Luckily.
Generally, yes. It's yes and no, actually. If there's a band that we really, really want to support us, we will definitely push for it. We'll say we want this band, and our people will do everything they can to make that happen. Sometimes it happens that a promoter for a certain show will say we're having this local support band opening, and it's kind of like, okay, it's not like we can say no, we'd rather this one. I think like you can kick up a fuss, but you don't really want to. But it's yes and no. Like we don't just have the control to be like this band supporting here, this band, because we're not at that stage.
Yeah, we need to be in a position where we can safely say that we're going to sell all the tickets for every single show. Then we can pick supports. But you kind of want to, at our stage in a career, you kind of want to at least take like 1 or 2 bands with you that will help make the show like the whole night's an awesome show, rather than just 2 bands that are just your friends and no one necessarily knows them. You want to take 2 bands that have a name for themselves, and kind of. But at the same time, you love to help out your friends. Like you meet at Six, for instance, they take out all their friends' bands, which luckily they happen to be the bands that are doing quite well. On this tour, we have Straight Lines, Yeah, we chose. I think James really wanted them, and like we've kind of known about them for a good like 3 years.
It's an awesome band.
And then
our friends
Proxies
Proxies
that we've played a few shows with and got to know. So.
And they've been over here in Ireland. Time's the Thief. They're an awesome band. We first played with them when we first played Cork, like a good few years ago now.
Okay, now to do with the album, do we have a release date yet?
No.
No,
at the moment we're saying summer.
Okay.
So we've got a season.
Yeah.
But we don't have a date.
So try and fit it in there somewhere.
Yeah. We have a release season.
Okay.
No, we're kind of we're exploring all the possible options before we give everyone a date. We don't want to give everyone a date and then have to change it.
Exactly.
So we kind of just figured like let's just take the first few months of this year to just explore every single option we possibly can.
There will be new music before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have we've got obviously a single out at the moment. We had a single out at the end of last year. There'll be another single out probably either just before the album or with the album kind of thing. So there's definitely new music on the way. So.
Speaking of the single, Ready Yet was video of the week on Kerrang.
So we've been told.
Yeah. It was, yes. Yeah, very cool.
So we've been
that must have been pretty amazing.
Very cool, yeah. It's like, it's kind of weird because you don't feel like, it's not like you take it for granted, but when you're in a position in a band like we are, where everything has just been gradual for years and years now, it's just been up and up. And it's kind of just like really small rungs on a ladder. And you get something like Video of the Week, and you're like, yeah, cool, but where's the next bit? Like, where's the next one? And like, without sounding like arrogant or wanting more, you're always so hungry for like the next thing and the bit. But if you do stop and think, you're like, shit.
Yeah,
it's pretty big deal.
When we were young, like Blink 182 was Video of the Week.
You guys are doing things independently and by yourselves, which is very impressive, by the way. And what tips do you have for the bands that want to do it by themselves and stay independent?
Oh, I don't know. Release, as stupid as and unbusiness-like as it sounds, just release music for like as cheap as possible or for free. At first,
you've got to get your name out.
One of the best ways, like you can't expect, when you're a little band starting out, you can't expect to make a lot of money anyway, so putting our album out on the internet was certainly one of the best things we ever did. So like, at least making music as easily accessible for people as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, we're not necessarily in a position where we're doing it ourselves and that, because it's just exactly what we've decided we want to do. We've kind of been thrown around a little bit back and forth by various elements of the industry, and it's such a fickle place. And as soon as it comes from being a hobby to being something that you want to do as a profession, as a career, you realise there are all these traps and all of these people that are literally out there for themselves to make money. So it's not so much like we want to do it ourselves because we've been all over. It's kind of like we'd rather do it ourselves to stay a bit safer and have a little more
control. So would you recommend it to other bands starting out?
If the opportunity is there, it's quite clearly a great opportunity to have someone else involved with you financially, for marketing, all that. Obviously the music industry still does do a bit of a job, but it's more just be wary, especially when you're young in your career. There's going to be a lot of people who come out and if you're a good band and people see it and they think you're a good band, they're going to be like, wait, we're fun for that, and then everything else. There are people like that out there, so don't necessarily like do it alone because the music industry is failing, but just be wary. Make sure your songs are your own songs and you've got control over what's happening. Like, I mean, it's tough. it's not the easiest thing.
Do you think it's more rewarding though to get yourself?
Totally. Like, it might be really, really cool if you get loads of other people involved and you kind of make it and stuff like that, but it will never be as good as if you do everything yourselves and then you finally like pull through.
So then you can say you got yourselves to Video of the Week on Kerrang.
Exactly. I mean, there's when we say we do it independently, there's elements of it that you have to have external people in. Say like, but we have a very, very close team. It's not like we have a big record label right now behind us. Like,
someone you've never met.
Like, I mean, that could happen. Like, you know, we're not the sort of band that would close any doors to being like, no, we don't want any big corporate company. If someone came along and it was the perfect thing to make Canterbury get to the next stage, we'd be like, okay, we'll listen. But like, there is a team you have to have around you. So we have sort of like someone helping with the radio and helping with the TV, but it's almost like it's a friendship group rather than this business thing, which is much nicer. And then when it is rewarding, everyone can celebrate together rather than it being like, well, that's a given because I threw 100 grand into it. So, it's really sweet.
You have to pay other people and stuff as well.
Very true.
Money is an issue, but we get over it.
Get there somehow.
Please buy t-shirts.
We have some fan questions now sent in. What is your favourite song to play live?
I don't know. I think me personally, as a band, I feel we play like "Calm Down" is one of my favourite songs to play because the crowd seem to love it. But as a band, I think we play. It's one of the best songs we can possibly play. Like we really do. It's a good like vibe in the song.
Okay.
You get a bit of everything. It's not like the easiest song to play in the world, but it's definitely not the hardest. Maybe not for you actually. You know, tricky bass. But it's like one of the ones which feels the best, and the crowd always respond to it, no matter what show it is. If they're like not digging the whole song and then the whole set, and then Calm Down comes on, most people know what it is. So that's quite fun.
Yeah, I'd say for a similar reason, mainly to do with crowd participation and that. When we play Friends, we're more like a gang. That's kind of like, obviously got a big gang.
Yeah,
but
true.
You notice like, maybe we'll be playing a big room with supporting people, 60% of the room won't know who we are, like 40% will, and they'll all be singing their hearts out, like, la, 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 or whatever. But then you'll notice by the end of the song, maybe 85% of the entire room is also, even if they're standing there going, their mouth is still moving, and kind of like, that's made it worth it, because we've made all of these people sing the same thing in unison, which is really cool.
What countries do you want to tour in future?
Every single one. Everyone that has a venue.
I mean, the natural places where bands go, I guess, is like Japan and Australia, like the States, of course. The States not so much because the drives are like 24 hours each. So
the minimum drive is like 8 hours.
That's quite brutal. Oh yeah, I mean, obviously it'd be great. But I mean, like Japan, every band that we know that comes back from there is just like, my God, it's a different world out there, and it's incredible. You still just getting to play your music on stage. So I'd love to go out there. South America, it's going to be mental. If you get to that stage, that's when you're like global famous, obviously. But
what's on your rider?
Such a good one.
Oh, that's such a good one, because today has been like our most successful rider ever.
Well, it's nothing exotic, but we've been doing a lot of support shows. And on support shows, you get a crate of water and you get a crate of
maybe some crisps, and maybe, just maybe, a slice of bread and like some ham or something. Like, just maybe.
Now we're dining, it's like a full fridge of drinks, it's Red Bull and Coke, and there's like 3 different types of ham, 3 different types of mayonnaise.
And that is worth saying. We've got Hellman's Normal, Hellman's Light, and Tesco Organic. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Really.
Exactly.
We've got like a massive thing of rum, box of cornflakes, about 17 different types of fruit, because we like being healthy.
And there's just like
hummus,
3 different types of bread, chicken,
Havana Club rum.
We walked in there and we were like, oh, amazing.
Because we haven't had a rider like that since our last tour. And even our last tour, it wasn't quite that good.
So really, it's just food stuff.
Okay.
It's food and drink.
Yeah. We dabbled around with asking for socks.
Yeah,
White Lies asked for socks. Yeah,
see, we asked for socks a couple of times, didn't get them. So we took it off. Was it chewing gum we put on?
Asked for toothbrushes or something, like nothing like majorly outrageous, like
nothing
a machine gun or anything, or a snake, but some good food, some fruit, and some drink.
Yeah.
That is about it, actually. So thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
And release date to be confirmed.
TBC, we'll tell you when we know, when we have an idea of it.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks very much.